Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about a very shocking event that happened this weekend, which was the professional, it was the Creator Clash, Creator Clash 2, which was a professional boxing bout. It was a professional boxing event. A professional boxing event. This is not a joke. The people in this thing are literally listed with Muhammad Ali in boxing history. Like it's incredible. I was astounded when I looked this up, right? This was a professional boxing match, right? Like this is a professional boxing event, right? The Rumble in the Jungle, right? Between Muhammad Ali and I think it was George Foreman, right? Like that's a historical event. Creator Clash 2 is an historical event at the same level as the Rumble in the Jungle. Like that is astounding to me. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. One, the only thing anybody cares about in boxing today is celebrity matches. When I was young and when you were young, everybody on the planet knew who the heavyweight boxing champion of the world is. Today, nobody knows. Nobody. Except that boxer and his mom. Right? Like I'm telling you, it's changed, right? So basically, boxing as we know it is done. Right, like Logan Paul is the best boxer in the world now. He's the only person who can sell tickets and actually get people to come to an event, right? And what you saw with Creator Clash 2, that's because of Logan Paul and KSI. Like they are the best boxers in the world today, right? There's a few other boxers who like to punch each other and can't sell tickets. Who cares, right? Like so. Dungeons and Dragons is now part of professional boxing history. This is astounding, right? Why? Marisha Ray and Yodeling Haley. So, who is Marisha Ray? She's one of the top 10 Dungeons and Dragons players in the world because she's on Critical Role, right? We'll get into it, not because she's a good player, but because she's on Critical Role, right? We'll get into it, all right? So, what do we learn from Creator Clash 2, the Dungeons and Dragons professional boxing match, in my humble opinion, that featured Marisha Ray, 33 years old, fighting against a 20-year-old Yodeling Haley, right? Now, first of all, who the heck is Yodeling Haley, right? So this is interesting, too. If you look up Marisha Ray has... Okay, so I'm Scott Garibay, right? Like, okay, what do I believe? I believe that if you play 100 sessions of Dungeons & Dragons, you will be fundamentally made a better human being. That is my humble opinion, based on things that I believe about Gary Gygax, right? If you don't understand any of that, you got some homework to do. Watch my stuff. You'll see it. It's listed in like half my videos. All right? Okay. I think Marisha Ray is listed on Wikipedia and has a page on Wikipedia because she's played Dungeons and Dragons, right? It inspired her to do things of significance and prominence and to make herself a better human being. And now she is recognized by Wikipedia as a person of significance. Yodeling Haley has no Wikipedia entry. Because the world looks at Yodeling Haley and says, you don't deserve to be listed on Wikipedia. Only people of significance and prominence and meaning belong here. Yodeling Haley is not a person of significance, meaning, or prominence right now. Doesn't mean she won't be, but right now she's not. What is she? She's a TikToker who does, when you match your voice to music, it's not a voiceover, but it's like a LipSyncing. She's a LipSyncing TikToker, right? That's what she is. I'm astounded too that she's considered a celebrity, right? Like, but she is. She's a legit celebrity, just not a person of significance, meaning, or prominence that you could list on Wikipedia. But Marisha Ray is. Okay, what do we learn from this, right? Well, one, the biggest thing is, here's my take. This is what we learned. I'm collecting my I was right check. I think Marisha Ray's loss, 5-round loss, unanimous decision loss to Yodeling Haley, right, means that Marisha Ray does not understand Dungeons & Dragons. Because if she understood Dungeons & Dragons, she would have won. Okay? And so here's my take. And I've said this before, and I think this is new evidence for what I say, right? I say Critical Role is nothing but Matthew Mercer. At any point, at the beginning or last week, you could replace any and all of the people on Critical Role. You can get rid of Marisha Ray, you can get rid of Laura Bailey, you could get rid of Ashley Johnson, you can get rid of Taliesin Jaffe, you can get rid of Sam Riegel, you can get rid of Travis Willingham, you can get rid of every single, you can get rid of Liam O'Brien, you can get rid of all of them, right? And Critical Role remains a success because it's Matthew Mercer and nothing else. Critical Role is Matthew Mercer and nothing else. You can replace every single person at any point in its history, and it continues to succeed. You pull Matthew Mercer out at any point, Critical Role is nothing within 3 months. Nothing. Forgotten. And the reason why is he is carrying everyone on there. He understands Dungeons & Dragons at a level that is so high, he is literally a D&D canon hardback author. Multiple books, right? Call to the Netherdeep and Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, right? And he brought these Hollywood sad sacks on. Every one of them does nothing to help him, and he not only has to carry them, he has to make it succeed despite them. You could pull any and all of them out at any point. Critical Role still succeeds, right? Now, let's talk about Marisha Ray. Let me explain why I think this is evidence, okay? Marisha Ray could have defeated Yodeling Haley. Now, Marisha Ray is 33 years old, okay? In the fight game, that's old. She's not an old woman at all. But in the fight game, she's old. And the reason why I say this is I watch a lot of UFC. If you look at my history on there, you'll hear me talking about UFC for years, right? So I know what I'm talking about here. 33 is ancient in the fight game, okay? So she was not equipped with age or health to defeat Yodeling Haley, who's 20, right? And so Yodeling Haley came with a whole bunch of energy, and Yodeling Haley was a dragon. Marisha Ray should know how to defeat a dragon. She doesn't, because she doesn't pay attention to. I am convinced that not a single person on Critical Role, including Marisha Ray, has ever even read the PHP. Not one. Okay? Including Marisha Ray, right? And so the reality is, I think, Dungeons & Dragons is an incredibly transformative game that can help us literally learn how to slay a dragon. She never read it. And that's why she wasn't able to figure out, okay, if this person has far more energy, far more power, far more speed than me, how am I possibly going to defeat her, right? And then go to her teammates who also should have read the PHP and should have known from the gate, this is what you do to defeat an enemy that has way more power than you, right? And there's adventure after adventure after adventure after adventure that shows you exactly how to defeat a dragon, right? But one, she didn't know that Yodeling Haley was a dragon, and she certainly didn't know how to defeat a dragon because she never read Dungeons & Dragons, right? And if she had read Dungeons & Dragons, she would have done the prep to defeat Yodeling Haley. I think Marisha Ray's 5th round unanimous decision defeat by Yodeling Haley is proof that she does nothing to help Critical Role, and that she, like every other member of Critical Role, could have easily been replaced at any point in CR's history, and CR would have been just fine and would have continued to succeed, because at the end of the day, CR is nothing but Matthew Mercer carrying 10 people on his back to success, and that he makes CR succeed despite every single member of CR. I think it's proof. I really do. I don't think Marisha Ray had everything she needed to defeat Yodeling Haley. Right? You want to know how to defeat a dragon? Read any of the literally 15 different books in 5e alone that tells you how to do it. Right? But she didn't. She came in unprepared with no idea how to defeat a dragon. You and I are different. Right? We understand that, in my humble opinion, Dungeons & Dragons is a tool to help us be better human beings. She doesn't understand that, right? And that's why she's easily replaceable on CR. And I think that this loss is proof of it, right? Now, before I go, I will give her flowers. It was incredibly brave of her. I was very shocked that she chose to do this, because just like every other person in Critical Role, and this is sad, Critical Role never actually commits to D&D. They're always all in on Hollywood, right? And so I will say I was incredibly impressed with her courage to get her physical form completely forbargled, because that's risky in Hollywood, right? Like, if something had happened to her that made it so that she didn't look like a Hollywood person anymore, that's risky. So she had a lot of courage to do this, right? maybe she was in there to start to try to become serious about Dungeons and Dragons, and was actually, there specifically so that she could live out the three pillars, right, of interaction, exploration, and combat, right? And so that she was literally going into combat physically to live out, and that maybe we're seeing the emergence of an actual world-class player, and that maybe there would be somebody on CR who isn't replaceable. Possible. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and let me know, what do you think, Yodeling Haley versus Marisha Ray, what does this event mean for the history of Dungeons & Dragons, the present of Dungeons & Dragons, the future of Dungeons & Dragons? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.